I've been on patrols where bad things happen and suddenly the soldiers who like having a photographer there to document what they're doing so they don't feel so anonymous in this distant war, suddenly they don't like you being there so much. It's something that's occupied a lot of my attention. You know, I've been forced to reckon with mortality in these last years.
And when you say that, how do you mean?
I've been injured during the Egyptian Revolution. I got pretty cooked by a mob.
What happened?
There was this sort of street battle going on this day. I think you guys might have seen on TV, all these like camels had charged in Tahrir Square. And people were fighting with rocks, and my gut was telling me, keep your camera in your bag until you get through to the anti-government protesters because they're on your side. But there was this moment where there was just this amazing. I could see just in the distance there were hundreds of rocks in the air, not close enough to hit me yet at that point, but it was like a flock of birds. And it was just this like surreal and quite beautiful and all violent tableau. And I thought, my God, this is amazing. I have to take a picture. And as soon as I took my camera out, a guy basically like spotted me, and just a bunch of people just set upon me and another guy I was with, and yeah, beat the piss out of us. And actually, luckily, some people came and kind of pulled us out of the mob and carried us to the army, which, you know, may have saved our lives.
Yeah. Oh. You ever have that on a film set? Just it's like the catering mob just kind of just landing right into you.
I don't recommend it to anybody, honestly. It was terrible.
Aaron, a lot of the pictures that I'm seeing here from the work in the DR is a very close, intimate experience where you're actually, you're really on top of your subjects and you're connected to them, and obviously very difficult situations. Tell me about that relationship that you had with your subjects.
Well, that's it's building trust, and it's asking permission without words and with energy, you know, and saying, I'm going to do right by you. I'm putting myself in the situation. It's a very vulnerable situation. They don't know why you're there. They don't know where the pictures. They're dying. So I think it is the most personal. When you're getting, their energy says to you, yes, you can take a picture. And so I think it's sort of sacred, and that's what I love about photography.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the camera is a strange thing. It's either welcomed or loathed, and sometimes it's just tolerated, but usually it's one thing or the other. And sometimes you have to work at being welcomed because people become so self-conscious about it and about wanting to look good that it breaks down, you know, the naturalness you're trying to achieve. When I won this Eugene Smith Award, it was to photograph from the civilian side of the war. Every war is confusing and complicated, but I think I'm most interested in the ones that like really confound resolution in a way.
It's a very personal journey.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the type of, for lack of a better word, war photography that I'm interested in, is making it very personal.
We put together some random questions about this and that, and we pass the ball around and everybody gets a chance to throw an answer out. What photographer has inspired you the most?
I would say somebody like, James Burroughs or something like that, or a fashion photographer, even like Avedon or whoever. I don't know. They're generic answers, but all beautiful photographs. And you go on the internet today. I go on the internet. I type in a name that just pops into my head, and then I put photographs after it. And so I just randomly look at people's photographs. I've done it for years and years and years. And you see amazing photographs from amateurs to pros and everybody in between. And you go, nobody's ever going to see these. And, there's a lot of good photographers out there.
Yeah, what's the most interesting photographer you've discovered lately?
You.
Besides
I'm glad to have you on the show, damn it.
This is a good question. What photo do you wish you had taken? Oh, boy.
The list is long on that one.
Decisive moment. That would have been nice.
The leaping over the puddle
Yeah,
in the back
I would
of
have
the
liked to
train
have had the
station.
most famous
my
Cartier-Brisson picture
Yeah.
ever taken.
Yeah,
That would have been
that's-
nice. What's the best way to discover new photographers today, Peter?
I'm looking more and more at the history of photography and less at new stuff.
Yeah.
The contemporary show, there's a lot of great stuff, but you have to wade through a lot more nonsense to get to it.
Yeah.
The stuff that's modern from the past century, you know, the worst of it's been kind of been winnowed out already. Probably a lot of great stuff too, because the names never caught on.
That's the thing about negatives and digital photography is that negatives were sort of, you know, you could see the steps of how that picture was taken and why they chose it off the contact sheet. It gives you a great understanding of these guys aren't taking perfect pictures all the time.
Right.
And it gives you confidence as a young photographer. And yet I think that is gone because nobody's producing contact sheets anymore.
Yeah, I never shot film professionally in my life. I mean, I'm part of that generation that was weaned on digital. So that's all very natural and comfortable for me. And if I was in a position that I had to shoot film, I don't quite know
how you do it.
What I would do. 36 frames, it's crazy. I stick a CF card or whatever in my camera and I've got 1,000 pictures.
I like that process too, but I also enjoy the process of starting and stopping. You know, it's like a breath in a scene. You know, it's like you take a step back and allow something else to react. And then, you know, I mean, for portraiture, it works nicely to be able to distance yourself a little bit from what you're doing and from what your subject is doing.
Yeah.
And to make that, and to give that breath. Anyway, I wanted to thank both of you for joining me today on Capture. It's been enlightening in so many ways. And Aaron Eckhart, who is a friend of mine and an amazing actor and an amazing photographer, we wish you all the luck with your new movie, Olympus Has Fallen. And Peter von Agtmael, who we have had an incredible time looking at your journey, and you have a book coming out, Disco Night, September 11th.
It's not a title that just came out of the blue, but it was a sign I photographed in upstate New York a few years ago. And it was right before the 9th anniversary of September 11th.
Okay.
And the book in a lot of ways is about these wars, but also the detachment from our society from these wars. And that sign in many ways symbolized it for me.
When does the book come out?
Probably late summer, early fall.
Early fall.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to seeing that. And maybe we can do this again sometime.
It's wonderful.
Go out there and do some work.
Yeah. I could see just sort of in the distance, there were hundreds of rocks in the air. Not close enough to hit me yet at that point, but it was like a flock of birds.
I dream about their futures. Where are they now? What are they doing? And how I was in their life for that little bit of time.
If you're photographing something like war, you don't alter or distort beyond the very act of taking pictures.
It's a solo thing, man. I mean, you can be in control of, you can be creating art by yourself and wherever you are in the world at day or night, you know, and that's an actor's best friend.